Ta-da! And we're live.
Hello.
Hello.
Ooh, 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 ooh. We're in pregame, so we can get our little recap and our giggles out, and I'll read over some notes that I have really quick, because my brain's been a little woohoo. So yeah, we can chat about the game. Is there anything that you guys are specifically excited for?
Them realizing that Thatcher and Mal died in our makeup session.
Absolutely.
Holy crap.
It was pretty grim.
I would have guessed that the ghost of Uncle Cole would be so strong.
Frankly, I didn't see it coming. I thought it was an excellent wild card that the DM pulled.
Absolutely incredible indeed.
Explain if you must or not.
I'll introduce my new character, Matcher.
No relation.
Same with my new character, Tal.
Yeah.
That sounds too much like towel with an accent.
Wow.
And then he's an actual towel.
Yeah, it's for wiping up the party's messes.
If my character ever dies, I'm coming back as Basil.
We got Tao, Basil, and Matcher.
Y'all are great.
That's all I got though for now.
I'm excited to hearing about the continued investigation into the newspaper place that was heard about. Even though I'm not directly involved with that right now, I'm still interested in hearing what's going on there because it seems like we're getting pointed there from multiple places.
Are you still trying to prepare stuff?
Yeah. I'm just getting one little look at the things, and I'm gonna be gone. Or, not gone. Done. Sorry.
I should probably get dice ready.
Oh shit, my dice.
Oh my god, thank you for saying something.
I was like, it sure is nice that my keyboard is like right in front of me today. I wonder what. Wait, why do I? Oh God, my dice tray isn't in front of me.
Do you all work with
All right.
numbers in your guys' jobs a lot?
I'm
Unfortunately.
unemployed.
Do you ever say for example, the numbers 88? I say 8D8 sometimes, and then I get looks.
Trying to cast that level 5 fireball.
Yes.
I don't say 88, but I'll mess up saying totals all the time. And there's a lot of common totals, which I'll see just pop up time and time again. And there's one that's just 2, 3, 4, 5, and it makes me really happy.
I don't have to speak the numbers.
All right.
They're all just on sheets.
And I won't
Ready?
say again, I'm unemployed.
Quickly. Or I think I unclicked my thing to do quickly. So yeah. Big
Ooh,
chillin'.
while Gray sorts their dice,
I'm
we
not gonna
both got
switch.
haircuts.
Oh yeah, I got a
Ooh.
haircut. It looks freaking great. I'll show you guys on Discord because my room's a mess, so I'm not showing that on stream.
We get behind the scenes looks.
How exclusive.
So say please don't.
Whoa.
Oh, you're
I,
not
Looks
wearing
I
any
don't.
pants.
nice.
I don't wear. I'm not wearing pants. They're gonna see my
Scandalous.
Oh
chonies.
no.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're gonna see my. You're gonna see my skeleton chonies.
I bought those for you. Those skelly undies. It's perfect for the game.
I was gonna say Scundies, but that
Oh, I was
sounds
gonna.
real gross.
I don't like the way that sounds.
Yeah,
Hate
Scundies
that.
sounds like it's a
I hate
slur.
it.
Ew. Who said that originally?
I did, but I said that
Why?
I specifically
That's
said it
my-
in a way where I was saying I was gonna say it, and then I didn't like actually say it like
Oh.
like
Without
it
saying
sound
it with
yeah
this is
as
a
it
disgusting
being
word and I
awful.
hate this.
Yeah,
We still love you and we forgive you.
thank you. I'm sorry, and I appreciate
Someone
the
forgives you.
the oh okay.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Okay, let's go to game. Okay, hold on. Let me play my Wild West music while we recap. Hiya. Okay. Who would like to recap for this session? You don't have to include the midway session. You can just include well, we kind of you can include whatever you want, basically. Just bring us to the moment where we are.
Well, I'm gonna try and go over both last proper session and our makeup because together they kind of form into a full length session. Um, so our last proper game was we all kind of talked about what our plans for the coming days would be and decided that Thatcher and Mal would go back into town with Thatcher going undercover using some magic and try and figure out what they could about the witch that has cursed us, and that all the rest of us would stay out at the church and do some investigating in the woods, find some food, see if we can find any information. And then we split up and went our separate ways to do so. The church/woods gang succeeded in finding a like a middle ground or like a pit stop teleportation circle that it seems like the witch used to teleport to a further distance after teleporting out of town, and we learned that from that circle she is at least where she teleported to is within 20 to 40 miles. So unless she had another teleportation circle that could have sent her longer wherever she ended up teleporting, she's still probably somewhat like feasibly close by. Then during our little makeup session, we had some interaction with Mal and Thatcher. They talked on their way to the on their way into town. And then they split up to or well, no, they didn't. They were forcibly sort of split up when they went to the town hall to where Mal what's the word, went undercover as a census taker, as a census agent of the Census Bureau, and was able to infiltrate a little bit and get some information about the town. And Thatcher was sent away because he was disguised as a pumpkin and was not allowed in any of the important record-keeping areas. Thatcher then went to a bar and got funny looks by saying that he was friends with the witch. And then they both were eventually, through different ways, kind of pointed in the direction of the newspaper. Like, that's not the right word, but the place in town that puts out the newspaper. And then they both started heading in that direction separately, and I think met up before we ended. And that's about where we were left.
Got it. Thank you. So you know the drill. You get a lovely D6.
I gotta remember it this time.
I'll place
Forgot
it
where we
in
both
the...
died.
Oh yeah, of course. Then the ghost of Uncle Cole showed up right at the end and did a banshee scream and instantly killed both of them.
Don't
Thanks.
forget the dead babies too.
Yes, they both also helped with the death.
Perfect. Cool. I'm just putting my overflow dice away because I have a set that has like an extra 4 dice, and that is bothering my organization. Perfect. Okay. So where we left off, we will be picking it up with Mal and Thatcher both heading to the makeshift printing press, I guess I should say. The village crier, if you will. So we have, I would say probably Thatcher would get there first. It seemed like his interaction would be much shorter than Mal's digging. So
I also live here.
that's fair.
It's fine, I got directions. I'm not one of those guys. I don't need directions.
Valid.
Is Mal that though?
No. The they part of being a he/they is the ability to ask for directions and also use a map.
Ah, I see. The
It's that
superior.
shedding of the toxic masculinity.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. What do I see when I get there?
There's like someone sitting on the porch of a house, kind of like nodding off as they like are facing the direction of the railroad. You see them doing the like head dip where they're like, because they are currently falling asleep in the nice sunny morning-ish, where it's like, you know, it's not too hot yet, but it's like a nice temperature, so he's enjoying that and starting to fall a little sleepy.
I'm gonna approach cautiously, and then I'm going to like kind of like clear my throat to catch their attention a little bit, and I'm gonna see how they react.
Oh, hello. He like wipes the drool off of the corner of his mouth and he goes, "Oh, well, nice to meet you. Might I interest you in our recent news, our newspaper? We've got you know, the farmers on the edge of town. Their sheep are, one of them went missing and they don't know, and we had a recent there's someone that went missing in the middle of the night, you know, an older lady that lived here, and just a whole bunch of stuff, you know, like, great. If you want to buy paper, that would be very helpful. All proceeds go to building up our printing press. And yeah, so can you read? I should have asked that first. Can you read?
Thatcher absolutely can read, but the character that he is playing, which I forgot the name I gave him, cannot.
It's fine. I have you. It's Ben.
It's Ben. Okay. That sounds about right. Thatcher's gonna clear his voice and goes, uh, no, I can't really read too well. Uh, I was pointed over in this direction because I was told that some information about last night's occurrence could uh, be attained here.
Oh, so you're here for the scoop. So you're here.
Yes.
Well, let me think. Uh, I can get some help with that. If you just give me 1 second. I gotta talk to our our manager. Yeah, our manager.
Thank you kindly.
Perfect, perfect. Oh, all right. Uh, hey, he knows about the occurrence last night, and you hear them like you hear this whispering too loudly in the door. Like they're right on the other side of the door, and the screen is closed, but the front door is not closed. They are definitely the most intelligent of people.
Uh, Thatcher's gonna try to look in just a smidge and see what this manager guy looks like. What's his deal? If I can't see him.
Unfortunately, because it's bright outside and it's dark inside, it's too hard to see. You can see like silhouettes of people, and um, he looks like a normalish silhouetted person, I guess you could say. But with that, he goes and he says, uh, "Idiot!" and he smacks him upside the head, and he goes, "You're being too loud. Now move." He goes and he opens up the door, and you see um, a young man. He's maybe in his mid 20s, and he's got blonde hair. It's a bit, it's wavy blonde hair, and um, he's wearing a pair of trousers and a button-up shirt that is buttoned for the most part. There's some buttons that are missing, but he carries himself as if he's good. Um, and he just kind of like puffs out his chest a little bit, and he goes, "So you want the scoop on what happened?" Well, you see, rumor says that that woman was a witch, and that she cursed the town. You know, it's crazy to think, but I heard that, you know, everyone was affected. Women, children, men, no matter what, anyone who was in town has been affected. But rumor has it that there was some other kin in the area, and they probably helped the witch in cursing everyone. You know, other kin, they cannot be trusted. No one knows
Yeah.
what the curse does, but everyone can feel it.
Oh, right. So I've been told that the witch is dead. So how do you suppose we go about lifting this curse?
Well, rumors say the witch is dead, but I don't think so. I think she went off somewhere. No one knows where, but, you know, she came from old money in this town. She's got to have some contacts somewhere. That's what I think. maybe she's part of a whole coven of witches, just outside of town. Who knows? The thing is that everyone in town is on edge. That the other kin or more witches could come, and And he drags his thumb across his throat. He says, "Everyone's scared, but no one's willing to talk about it, except for me."
Thatcher kind of looks down for a moment and then he goes, "You see, I was kind of wondering if maybe there was going to be some type of team or some sort, or maybe some type of search party for this here witch. If anybody had any leads, uh, I would like to be a part because I have been personally deceived by this witch, and I would like to invoke some justice."
You have information about the witch? Come inside, let's have an interview.
Thatcher immediately sweats and tries to like bow out.
Well, come on, let's go. How did she cause you that injustice? What did she do? Eat your children? Steal, turn your wife into a witch? Kill your dog?
No, no. See, for she was a good friend of my cousin's who no longer live here, and just the fact that she would have the the goal to talk among us
And
humans.
around this time, Mal starts walking up. Mal sees Thatcher sitting on the porch, sweating bullets, while this guy has pulled out a pen and or a writing utensil, a pencil and paper, and he's just like scribbling down. You know, he's just so excited to be taking down this information.
Thatcher's eyes are like going back and forth at like and then
Thatcher
as
probably actually hears the whistle first, as they have like the same posture as before, where it's kind of like the shoulders a little curved in, but like straighter back. Fiddles a little nervously with the bag, but in general seems like pretty confident and cheery. And a little like whistling tune kind of reaches the porch before they do.
Why do I imagine it's the Kill Bill whistle?
I
I
was
know
gonna
it's not.
say I was imagining like the Puss in Boots death whistle.
Ooh. All of these are so ominous, but Mal is just probably like chilling.
Row, row, row your boat.
It's one of those songs where like it sounds really like chipper and like or like sweet or something, but like in actuality, when you listen to the real lyrics to it, you're like, that's kind of fucked up, bro. It's like "You Are My Sunshine" or something like that.
Oh, tangent. Greg, we did watch Puss in Boots a little bit ago. It was really good. Good movie. Recommend it. Anyways, so the whistle reaches you, and the interviewer pauses for a moment and looks. He's like, I haven't. Someone's whistling at this time? Who's that? Like, it takes him aback because no one would be like that cheery right now because of the curse.
I think all of us kind of like look up because, yeah, that's not like a common thing in our little town.
Approaches and kind of stops near the porch, but a good couple steps away. And, oh well, my bad. Am I interrupting anything?
No.
A little, but who are you?
I am looking for the hospitable press. This is it. Yes.
Well, of course. We were currently having another interview. So But that's fine. I can interview you later, right, Mister?
Yes, most certainly.
When he looks away from Mal back to Thatcher, Mal's eyes switch to Thatcher. There's just the slightest dangerous edge at the interview bit before the mask falls back down.
Sweats more bullets.
You see, he's got information on the witch. Now, oh, I mean, how can I help you?
Which immediately eyebrows up.
Right. You must be from out of town, lucky.
Oh, yes, I apologize. I should have introduced myself. Maverick Aldrin, and steps forward, like, puts one foot on one of the steps and, like, leans the rest of the way up rather than actually going up the porch. And then steps back after the handshake. I am with the Squassen Census Bureau. A census taker. Tips hat.
Well, nice to meet you, Maverick. That's a mighty fine name, if I do say so myself. Well, we do have information that there was a witch here. Now, we gotta keep a little quiet about it, as the town folk aren't really ready to talk about it. See, we're pretty sure here at the press that everyone in town felt the same thing. Men, women, children, everyone got this curse. Now, we don't know what it does or what it means, but seeing as we banished her from town, some people are saying she's dead, other people are saying she's just ran off somewhere. No one knows, but we don't know how to fix this. We knew witches were, you know, a wackadoodle, crazy, who would practice witchcraft after all, but unfortunately, it seems that the entire town is a little under the weather, you could say. Now, we do know a few things about her. You know, nothing off of the rumor mill, of course, like actual facts. Now, hear this. She came from a family that was old money. Her sisters got married off, but she inherited the land of her parents, you know, being the oldest and all. She never married, but we found kids in her house. Half otherkin or whatever they are. Either way, they weren't human. Of course, they were dispatched. And it seems like she did not take too kindly to this fact. We're not sure if they were hers or if they were adopted or whatever, but it seems a little off, if you know what I mean. Now,
And in
there's-
my initial investigation with Davdek, didn't he say that the cause of death was the fire?
Yeah.
Okay.
Accelerant was poured on the children.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm just enjoying all the ways this goes.
Well, now, it's a little suspicious, if you ask me, that she was her age and had children. I don't know. But seems like wherever they came from, they're gone now. Thankfully. Well, you didn't hear that from me. You know, with the whole other kin rights and all that stuff, you know?
If you don't mind me asking, given, you know, I am new here and might be missing a few things, but are you saying that the children were found and killed and then she cursed everyone for it? Or were you investigating a curse and found children?
You see, I'm not too sure. But I think that the children were probably uh, just a casualty. You know, like they happened to unfortunately be in the house during the fire. You know. Now, seems like what's crazy is that there was other kin, you know, in the outskirts of town that were spotted in the middle of the night. Now we think that they had something to do with it.
Be mighty
Other kin.
strange. I've heard, at least in my travels, well, being a census taker and all, the fact, the truth is most important. But it gets a little boring looking at population numbers. He winks. So sometimes I go about for the rumor mill, just something to chew the fat on a bit before you head on to the next place. Frankly, I've always heard that the other kin and witch tend to cross paths and have conflicts.
Really now?
Of course.
He goes in,
And
he starts scribbling down.
kind of like leans against the post and, I mean, doesn't it just make sense? If you're a person and you're a hunter in an area and there's a big old cougar about, you and that cougar ain't friends just because all your prey don't like neither of you, know?
Makes sense. I never thought of it that way.
And what a nice scapegoat a witch would have if she were to pull something. Bunch of other kin around, well, might as well have it all pop off right then.
He scribbles it down.
Now, I'm not saying that is the honest truth. You never know with these things, but I think it is an important. Look at me, you got me going. Like waggles finger at, and just you're not too bad at this. You think you'd from one of the bigger towns.
Oh well, shucks. I really appreciate that, mister. Yeah. He's all flustered now. Kind of stumbling on his words, not sure what to say next, it seems.
And you said she was some old money sort too, right?
Yeah, her family that she came from helped with the making of this town, and so they were respected, and you know her land was respected, and she was a all around person that no one really batted an eye at. You know, her parents were good people. They helped out with the town, helped fund town projects. They're part of the reason why there's even a railroad here in the first place. You know, she helped fund it. Her parents unfortunately had passed, but while she was raising her sisters, she helped donate some money to the building of the railroad through this town. You know, it brings prosperity and all that stuff, and she was real excited to get it down. But it seems like after all this time, she was really plotting against all of us. I'm just glad you didn't hear this from me, but I'm just glad we got her out before trouble really started.
And were there any poor folks caught up in this? I mean, being that she had lived here for so long and no one suspected nothing, and old money family, surely she had friends in town, a family she was close to.
Unfortunately, in the last, I'd say about 5-6 years, maybe a little bit longer, 7. It's hard to keep track. She kind of became a recluse. Didn't really get out of her house very much. Went to the town for or not went to the town, but went to the market and all. But aside from that, that was all. We're surprised she didn't hire a hand, but it seems like most of the hands that you can get these days are those nasty otherkins. So we never saw one of them around, so we assumed that nothing like that was going on. But who knows? Maybe it was.
And she never had no visitors or nothing?
Nothing. If anything, it would have been in the dark of night, but like I said, nothing like that came to be.
He kind of whistles lowly at that, pulling off the hat to drag a hand through his hair before he sets it back into place. Well, and you said everybody felt some same sensation. Do tell.
Yeah, like a weight on our shoulders. You know what I mean? Um, a lot of people think it's just a little curse of back pain, but I'm quite frightened that it's something worse. It's brand new though, and we haven't quite felt the effects yet. Hope we never do, but well,
I know, a witch's curse. That's the stuff they make stories and legends, especially ghost towns, steeped
I
in that
know.
kind of stuff.
Can't wait for the next train to go around. I'm gonna put on some papers telling them about it. You know, come and help the town get rid of this curse and all that. I'm sure people will come flocking to see, bring some good tourism. You know what I mean? The burnt witch's house, all that stuff.
Might as well be careful for any snake oil salesmen, though. Talks of a curse is you're gonna have people coming up trying to cheat good folk.
Oh yeah, that's fair. But uh, I got a pretty keen eye, and I can tell when people are lying.
Let's see. I'm over the mask. You know, I think it's almost poetic, don't you think? A witch found out, and her strange babes killed, and then she vanishes with leaving a curse behind. Almost like the weight of what's been done on everybody's shoulders. Quite the story you've lucked into.
Right? That's what I'm saying. You see, the only thing that was off about her were people seeing her walk into her cellar at night, and occasionally, when someone was trying to check it out, it was locked, but they heard the crying of babies. So, I think someone checked it out, found out what was going on, and tried to get rid of her. That's what I think. I'm not too sure. You know, a lot of the heads of town keep it hush hush, as, you know, killing the magical folk is illegal.
In retrospect, from witnessing everything, have I yet to see the person who was like leading the whole talking and like lighting the fires and stuff? The one that was like seemed to be head of the burning.
No, you have not seen him yet, actually.
Hmm. Well, that grim topic aside, I suppose anything else of interest in your little town? Acer,
Um,
you're not included in this. Stop meowing.
I love Acer. He can be included. There's a cat in town meowing loudly.
Cat is always
There's a
included.
railroad cat.
Railroad cat. Please, cat, stay off the railroad. But, yeah, so he goes and he says, I think there's mysteries in this town that people haven't quite discovered yet. I'm gonna discover them, though. Ain't no way people are keeping things from my keen eye. He says as he taps, like, his temple. Oh, and you know what they say? Some teenagers went and took a look around. They said that they found some weird alchemical laboratory underneath her house. No one set foot in it after them. They said there was some freaky stuff going on. Everyone's too scared to go down there and touch it. But I think they're gonna blow the entrance so no one can get in there. I don't know where they're gonna get a hold of anything to, blow it up, but there's a mining town across the way, so maybe some of the workers might bring something back at the end of the day. Who knows?
Guess we'll see, but I suppose if you wanted to do any investigating, that does mean you're running out of time to go see it yourself.
Right, right. Um, Unfortunately, I'm too busy, keeping keeping the fort here. So actually, that's a great idea. I think I'll send my comrade to go He swallows hard. Go check it out.
Val just smiles. It's like, well, it sure sounds interesting. I wish I'd be in town for probably long enough to see the next run of your story. Oh, I suppose if you want, we could go check it out. I'm not much worried about a bunch of children making themselves all anxious about some burned out ruins.
Yeah. If you want, we can if you want to tell us what you find, that'd be great. Um, we're busy printing, writing copies of the newspaper as it is right now. Trying to get this story out there, like I said, before the next train comes. So, you want to bring back any information, that'd be mighty helpful.
Well, how about
I
this?
could even pay you for your time.
Well, we'll cut an agreement then. You give me a copy of your paper, a list of anything you want details on, want me to check out. I'm sure you got a cleverer mind for it, but I've got sharp enough eyes to get you your answers. And whatever you think the agreement's worth for the work, I'll take the pay.
All right, we can do that. You're braver than most, mister. I'll get you a copy right away, and when you tell me what you find, I'll give you the money.
Sounds like a plan. It'll give me something to do before it's back to dusty shelves and papers.
Sounds great. You and you two know each other?
Oh, my
Starts
guide
blinking.
coming back into town. So, he was kind enough to offer to show me where the town hall was.
Oh, okay, cool. I see. Perfect. Right. So, he can go with you, and once you get back, I'll interview both of y'all, and y'all can give me the scoop, and it'll be all mighty fine and dandy.
We
Oh,
have a
here,
deal on Holds Out Hand.
let me write you a note in case anyone tries to stop you. That a press badge, if you will. One of the something saying you're working with me, and I'll sign it, and I'll. Not that many can read here, but I'm sure it'll look good enough.
I appreciate it. And Mal gets exactly what Mal wants.
All right. And he produces you a newspaper. It is drawn. It is not drawn. It is written with sketches, and that's about it. There is a single stamp on it, and that is the title of the newspaper, which is I forgot the title that I gave you, because my brain is filled with the fact that
The
I need to use
Hospitable Press.
The Hospitable Press, yes. So it's stamped with that, and then the press pass is also stamped with the Hospitable Press stamp, just for authenticity's sake. Speaking of authenticity, it has nothing to do with it, but y'all made me hydrate earlier, and now I have to use the restroom. So give me like 2 seconds. I've been drinking a lot of water lately. It's good. My doctor yelled at me, and I was like, okay, I'll listen.
Good. Stay hydrated. Drink all the water.
Gray said to entertain you guys.
Go on then. Do a little dance. In the Scundies.
No. I regret everything.
I am currently dancing. Woo!
Wow. So, they think we helped them, huh? Can't wait to deal with the consequences of that.
The consequences of not our actions.
Yep, the consequences of action we didn't do.
Well, I was gonna say this is very helpful. Now we know that people are looking for you guys, and we're gonna get you guys out of here.
Oh, Mal has set the seed into mind that clearly the other kin and witch would come to blows. But yeah, the rest of the town fucking thinks you guys did it, so y'all gotta be careful.
Damn it, Devin. Another hydrate? That's okay.
Of
The
course.
reason I've been hydrating is because I got a new Owala water bottle, and it's got great hand feel and a cool sippy straw, but also like a drinking spout. So it like perfect best of both worlds. Owala sponsor me.
Since we're semi on like a quick break, I can show off the baby for everyone who didn't see her.
Oh
The
yes, let's see,
baby.
baby.
The baby.
Here's the baby.
That is a perfect angel.
Adorable.
Never
This is
done
my
anything
roommate.
wrong.
My roommate's kitten. She's like 5
Yeah.
months.
I'm dying.
It's a baby. I'm gonna go put her back before she gets mad at me.
Fair.
Valid, valid.
And before I die.
Oh. Oh no. Kiv already left. I'll have Kiv show you in the chosen chat after this.
Okay, so are we back at it?
I think we're just waiting on Kiv to drop off Kitty.
Okay.
I am back.
Willkommen.
Yay.
Sorry, I realized I did not put on my unstinky. My deodorant after I showered today. And I was like, I'm feeling moist. And I was like, I don't like this. So I put on deodorant. TMI, I know. Oh, stretch time. Okay. Everyone stretch. Ah, I almost got a cramp between my shoulder blades. I stretched so hard.
That sounds like it would be terrible.
Almost. I just got like that painful feeling of like, stop it.
You don't stop now, you're gonna be in a lot of pain.
Yup. Anywho's what's it? Yes, we're back at it. Back at it again. So you and our lovely when I said you, I meant Mal. Mal and our lovely Thatcher are assumably gonna head off to the witch's spot before it gets blown up.
Again?
Yeah, but like the little the place thing, the cellar. I was gonna say ceiling. Hey, ceiling. But yes. You guys are free to chit chat on your way.
Has it been close to an hour since we got here? Because my disguise only lasts for 1 hour.
I would say it's been probably about 40 minutes. Because you
Ooh.
did, you waited until you were outside of town, you changed, you walked to the town hall, they spoke for a little bit, you walked to the tavern, you sat around for a little bit, talked to someone, and then to the press, and he was like chatting you up. Making you nervous.
Yeah.
So we'll say about 40 minutes. You've got 20 minutes left.
Yep, once I have all the stuff we need from them and the little press pass, we can start making our way down the street. And you mentioned before we came into town that it only lasted an hour, right? Or no, you actually mentioned it when we were still in the church.
Yeah, even then, I would let you know when it was getting close to an hour, anyways.
Okay.
You slowly feel the
I was
magic beginning to wane.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I imagine like I start to melt and like pieces of my actual appearance start to pierce through.
You probably don't want to do that because then you would actually give it away before the spell's effect completely ends.
Yeah, I know. Just that's how I imagined it.
It's
Anyway.
just like you're slowly turning down the opacity just a bit. It's like,
Yeah.
something looks weird here.
This disguise is giving me the vape. I'm just kidding.
Get out.
Shut up. It appeared in the corner. Everybody disliked that.
Anyway, besides this weird, annoying itch, I don't have to do the voice while it's just you. um, if you only have a little bit of time left, then we can explore the basement, check through the cellar. I can return to them and answer and make an excuse that you met an old friend and had to stop, and that you would meet me later. And you can take your way out of town and wait for me to finish. We can make it back to the others and inform them after that.
Sounds good to me.
Alright, into the cellar it is then.
So you guys are able to head into the cellar. No one stops you. There's no one like freaking out. That you guys
I
are
mean,
entering
given the
on.
weird sensation everybody has and the weird air in the town, I don't think they want to be anywhere near this house.
Yeah, exactly.
But weirdly, Mal moves into the cellar as if familiar with it. Absolutely zero hesitation.
So,
Do I immediately see if anything has changed, like if anybody's taken anything?
um, a couple little vials and like potions near where the mirror is got knocked over, and there's a couple things that are like clattered about because scary.
Alright. Kind of pulls out the little sheet of paper and like scribbles some of like the basic information about the layout of it. Like circles inscribed on the floor. There's a bunch of alchemical things. Tosses in some little minor details that would just sound nice in a little written thing. And then we'll intentionally write. Well, probably not yet. Kind of turns and looks to the mirror. Want to face the truth, Thatcher?
Um, he kind of like hesitates a little bit, but then he goes over and looks in the mirror, full, or yeah, just full on.
And you see a 4-year-old child on your shoulder. Wait, what age did I say was on your shoulder? I forgot.
You said small baby. I forget how old.
Yeah,
But
I'm the one
Oh.
who has the fucking toddler.
Right.
I believe I also have a toddler.
No, that was a joke. You have baby as well because they're
We
not
made a
gonna,
joke
like...
about how a toddler being on you especially would be even worse. 'Cause
Oh,
you're
that's right.
smaller.
Yeah, so you guys are able to freak out, and you see that there's a baby on your shoulder, because I think that's creepiest. A literal infant.
yeah, Thatcher's gonna like jump when at the sight of it. I don't know if I said that already or not.
Yeah, so Do you say anything?
I think Thatcher would be like taken aback and kind of just like really studying like where it is on him and all that, kind of like putting his hand where it would be. In this mirror, do I appear as I really am, or is it my disguise or my spell body, I guess you would say?
You appear as you truly are.
Mal lifts up a hand and like kind of like touches over where the child's hand is on them and just poor things. Hadn't even gotten the chance to do anything yet.
No, I don't think I'm gonna say anything about like the because we already had discussed about yeah, we already had discussed about what's actually on us, right?
Yeah, everybody had been told. Mal just like offered like if you wanted to see it for yourself.
Yeah, no, he's just gonna, like I said, he's gonna look in the mirror, kind of jump and like start waving to where it is now that he can actually see it. Um, he is gonna be taken aback by seeing himself and think that the spell ended, but as he looks down at himself, he sees that he still has his spell going, and he's just gonna like take a second to keep looking back and forth between the mirror and himself, and then he's gonna say, "All right, let's keep it moving. This place is weird."
That's because it's for alchemical and ritual work and um Gray. Do
Yeah.
I think with this mirror it's obviously way too big to take. But if I break it, is there I can have a shard that will show me things as they actually are?
um. Um. Occult. Roll for it. I know the answer, but do
I
you know the answer?
I am also
It doesn't actually change anything because they are going to break this mirror so that nobody else has it.
I also am trained in occultism as well. Would I be able to roll?
Yeah, but do you have the idea to break the mirror?
Oh, um, no, I don't have the idea to break the mirror, but I'm assuming I see Mal like kind of gearing up to.
Uh,
They're
we'll
just
see
studying
what
the mirror
happens.
at first, but that is a 19.
Okay. A shard will not be able to be taken from this, but roll me an intelligence really quick. Just flat intelligence.
With my intelligence, that's another 19.
Okay. While this mirror may not be able to be used while broken, and it may be the size of Davdak, uh, if Thatcher is going to be leaving through the back of the town, he can easily take this mirror back to the church. And one of your magical friends might be able to transcribe the sigils on it to another mirror.
Is it not too heavy for him to carry?
No,
All
it's
right.
like it's not like it's ornate with the sigils, but it's not like fully like covered in all the metal and stuff. It's portable, but it's also not flimsy, but it's kind of flimsy. If you drop it, it's gonna break. Um, it doesn't have that much of like a round around it. Um, the word for
Is
that.
there any cloth in this room?
Yeah, there was the cloth that it was
Oh,
originally.
covered with originally. That's right.
Yeah.
So Mal will take the cloth and begin to take the mirror off the wall, and we'll wrap it.
Already.
Yeah, You're taking this thing with us?
It's a mirror that can reveal the true appearance of things, not only invisible curses, but also through your magic. There's symbols on it. They kind of tap the mirror like through the cloth, so it's a dull noise of their nail hitting.
Yeah. Thatcher's gonna snap his finger and he goes, right. That actually will be helpful, huh?
It'd be
Huh.
even more helpful if we transfer it to something else.
Right.
So, since you're running out of time, Al stands and just shoves a mirror at you. You can
Whoa,
take this
whoa, whoa.
back.
Well, all right then. Yeah, I'll be making my way out soon. Did you say I have about 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna start making my way. Oh, I'm gonna grab the mirror and start making my way. But before I go, I am going to say, is there anything else that I can help with, or maybe we can look together at before I go? Because yeah, I'm running out of here.
I've already got the details on the circles that matter and all of the alchemical stuff over there. None of it's really that useful anymore, except for making a bunch of people feel that they hit the nail on the head.
All right, gotcha. All right, well, up to daisies, here we go. And I'm gonna pick up the mirror and start making my way out. Um, but uh, yeah, I start making my way out. I'm gonna be sneaky the whole time I am leaving, cause yeah, taking something from here is probably not gonna look good, and Thatcher knows that.
Yeah. Lucky for you, this is on the edge of town, and this is towards the back of the house. So it will be kind of easy to slip away. So if you would like, please roll me a stealth. Not if you would like, please roll me a stealth. I changed my mind in the middle of that.
Okay. For my little stealthy, I got a 17.
Alright. You assume that you leave the town unnoticed. And you begin making your way to the church.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm taking notes.
Take it to church. Worship like a dog.
I was thinking the same thing.
High five.
I'm bringing
Well-
in a mirror to the shrine of no one.
Devin, did you like what I said in chat?
Yeah.
Da-na-na-na-na-na. Anyways, so, Mal, you are left alone, looking about, taking notes. Aside from that and everything that the mirror revealed, there's nothing new here. Like I said, aside from the overturned bottles and broken glass.
Yeah, it was a chance to check and make sure that she hadn't come back, and if she had, what was missing compared. And also, I wanted the mirror. Originally, I couldn't really get away with that, but now that we have the space and like everybody's not standing outside, could finally grab that. Plus, I'm about to get paid for doing something I already did.
True.
So-
How big is the mirror?
It's about Davdak sized.
Oh, that's easy enough.
Yeah, just doesn't have a super heavy frame. But yeah, so Mal will make their way
Frame!
back.
That was the word! I couldn't remember.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Mal.
Yep. Mal will head back and fork over the information, and unfortunately, inform our poor friend here that my guide met ups with some people from back in the day when he still lived here and was very caught up and didn't want to interrupt. It was a little awkward.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Um, now, uh, I didn't introduce myself, did I?
Oh no, I was not honored to catch the name.
Right. Um, my name is Sean. Sean Grierson. It's an actual historical last name, but I really like how it sounds.
And are you just a writer here, the owner? What?
Oh, I am the owner of the press here. I am the manager, owner, and lead editor. My helper here, his name is Gregor. Oh, his last name is Mason, by the way. Not that that's that important. Gregor cries.
Sorry, updating your notes. Well, it was a absolute pleasure to meet the both of you, and to how incredibly loud Discord noises.
Honestly, best thing that you can do is turn on screamer mode, and you won't get the join and leave sounds.
I can just turn them off. I just didn't realize that Discord had them on for whatever reason.
Hiss.
Had the random Discord fucks with all your settings moment.
Yes, yes, I did.
Well, a mighty fine thanks, and this will definitely be in the paper. Hopefully, they'll take it to, a well-wrapped printing press and get it mass-produced and sent out, and, I can't wait. Yeah.
Well, a pleasure working with you, but I will let you both get back to it. We'll shake both of their hands. And I suppose it's getting about time to get ready to hit the road again. Next train out, I imagine.
Well, yep, that's the plan.
Yeah. You folks have a great day.
You too, and thank you again, mister. Oh, wait, hold on. And he gives you the equivalent of 5 copper. I don't know what the technical name for the currency is here. Coppers are probably pennies. Silvers are probably, well, yeah, if we were keeping it, pennies, dimes, and, no, I would say, question mark, question mark, question mark. We'll figure it out. We'll say probably, nickels are worth the 10 and dimes are worth the 20. 20. No, not 20. Wait, hold on. I can't do math. Anyways.
You're fine.
I'm
We can
afraid.
just go with the standard. It's really not that.
Yeah,
It's
copper,
easier
gold,
to
and
track.
silver for now. Yeah.
Yep, and then I head out of town, and as soon as I'm like out of town, we'll probably pick up pace a little bit to catch up with Thatcher.
Perfect. Thatcher is slowed down a little bit due to carrying Mirror and not wanting to drop.
Also being sneaky.
Oh, it's a gold piece would be equivalent to $1. There you go. Ta-da. We'll just use dollars and cents. And copper, silver, and gold interchangeably. But yeah, so you guys catch up and you begin heading towards the church. This does take a little bit of your focus because you are trying not to drop the mirror.
I didn't even know that was a thing, but cool.
So, what is the current what's the word?
Actually,
Scenario. What's going on?
hold on. Let me retcon something. While Mel is on his way out of town, you do see a bunch of crows on one single house. And then
Uh-oh.
you are able to leave town or investigate if you wish. I forgot to mention that. It was in my head that I said it earlier. I just did not actually say it.
If it's not too obvious to investigate, I can poke my nose around a bit.
If you are walking by, you can roll an investigation. Because isn't that a skill? Wait. Perception, because they don't have investigation. A perception.
Oh, it's kept away from the other skills. I was looking, I was like, Pathfinder has perception. Where is it? I'm being gaslit by this
Yeah.
character
So
sheet.
that happened to me too. I think last session or our mini session. Gray's like, "What's your perception modifier?" And I was like, where is it?"
20 fucking 1.
You notice someone in their house, and you recognize this person as the man who dragged her out by her hair. There are a fuck ton of crows on his house. He looks out the window, quickly closes the curtain, and retreats.
Mal definitely mutters something to themselves about someone's marked for death. With occult, do I know if that's akin to what it is? Or at least if that's like an ill omen?
It is definitely widely regarded as an ill omen. Crows are called a murder for a reason.
Yeah. I'd say F to this guy, but I mean, really eat shit.
They're just babies, sky babies.
Sky babies.
Perfect angels, never done anything wrong.
So, you guys head back to the church. You guys all, will say that the scouting party came back sooner just because it is like an hour's walk back to the church.
I imagine they get back right as Desdemona is finishing up processing the second rabbit.
Makes sense?
Well, welcome back. Hey there.
Oh, hey. Uh, you see Thatcher like really focusing on the mirror, and he probably didn't realize right away that he got there.
What you got there?
A smoothie. No.
Oh, the smoothie.
He goes, Mal told me to bring this back. I wasn't fond of bringing it over, but here we are.
Is the mirror currently covered by the? I know it was mentioned there was a cloth over it. Is it still covered
Yes.
up, or has that been okay? Well, I wasn't aware we were planning on bringing anything back, but I suppose. You learn anything?
Uh, I I wouldn't be thrilled to be y'all right now.
Um, that is somewhat ominous.
Uh, see, a lot of people don't understand uh how things coincidentally happen. So they think that somehow you other kin are tied to this witch's curse. And it seems as though maybe they're looking for you, maybe they're looking for the witch. I didn't really get an answer on that, but I suggest y'all don't go back to your creek.
Uh, Desdemona just kind of blinks and looks around at the others. Well, that is certainly not the best of news we could be receiving.
Grak is probably just gonna like shake his head and say like, "Well, it's nothing new."
True, I mean, I don't think we were planning on going back, but now we know certainly that we should definitely not be going back.
Thatcher kind of like puts his hands together and he goes, I want to apologize about on the behalf of your creek. Eh, I mean, not that they would be sorry anyways, but just I don't know how to express this feeling that I have. I'm sorry.
Well, Desdemona just kind of looks awkward.
Don't worry, son. There's plenty of bad eggs in that particular place, but you seem to be one of the good ones. Don't need to go apologizing for the rest.
Thatcher nods his head, and then yeah, he's gonna put the mirror down for sure. But in terms of taking it out or taking off the cloth, I don't think he would.
What's that you got there?
You know, we picked up that mirror from from the cellar of of the what's her name again? Mariah, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Uh,
from Mariah's house.
I see. He seems to like unconsciously like adjust his shoulder.
Would you like to see it? I can take off this piece of cloth here.
Oh no, I've already had the front row seat, so to speak.
Um, above table, had we already discussed this mirror at all, like as a full group, or is this new information to those of us that didn't go into the cellar?
We
Um,
had
it-
discussed it before, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that is. I mean, makes more sense why he took it now.
Hazel is gonna kind of put their hand on the cloth and like look up. Like, is it okay to take a peek?
That sure certainly isn't going to stop you.
Then they lift it up and look at themselves.
Do we
All
see
right. Hazel.
the other little friend from Hazel?
Uh, actually, yeah. Just a glimpse. Once the other thing sees itself in the mirror, you only get a glimpse. It disappears quickly by running out of said view of mirror. It's kind of like ah shit, you see me run.
Whoa, whoa, what was that? What was that?
Was that not to be expected?
The child is still there, but the second entity has quickly moved itself out of frame. The child on Hazel's shoulder is about 2 years old. Ish. All of these are ish.
Desdemona will come up and stand next to Hazel and kind of take a look as well.
Desdemona, you are a very tall person, correct?
Yes, very tall.
You have a 4-year-old. The 4-year-old just kind of looks. By the way, the expression on these children's faces are blank at best, if not a little bit uneasy.
Well,
And they don't have half a child, right?
You cannot see the legs of the child unless you like turn around, because the child is literally just like the 4-year-old is arms over the shoulders on both sides, and the 2-year-old has, for those of you that have a 2-year-old, they have both arms over one shoulder, and with the 1-year-old, it just kind of like sits on your shoulder. For those that are tall enough, and for the ones that are small, like Dabdak, it just kind of wraps its arms around your neck, holding on.
How big is this mirror, like, width-wise? I think I'm using the right term.
It's an oval mirror, so it's taller than it is wide. But it's like your standard oval, not like a wide oval or a squat oval. Just
Okay.
so maybe like 3 feet tall and maybe 1.5 feet, 2 feet wide.
Dabdak, are you 3 feet tall?
Yep.
Then yeah. I was
Okay,
just basing it off
cool.
of Dabdak's height. Seemed good enough.
I'm a monstrous 3 feet, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, that is mighty unsettling.
Yeah, particularly why I didn't want to take a look in the mirror again.
That is understandable. I have to admit I was curious about just the actual mirror itself, what I was seeing inside, well, she just kind of gestures and gives a kind of grim look.
And while both of them are talking, Rack is gonna be like looking, trying to see what they're seeing. And like trying to like sneakily like look, but not like get too close to like not crowd them and everything.
Curious, but
Yeah.
still wary.
Yes.
Just to clarify, has just Thatcher gotten here at this point, or are Mal and Thatcher both here?
Mal and Thatcher.
Cool. I wasn't sure, because I know that they kind of left at staggered times, so I wasn't sure if they got back at the same time or if they were both here yet, but whatever.
I was focusing.
Trying to be sneaky and quick? Oh, it's a little hard.
Fair enough. So, would either of you, looking to Mal or Thatcher, either of you have any issue if I kind of gave this whole thing a closer look?
Oh,
No. I wasn't aware I was there. I had caught up yet, but that's right, because Thatcher was moving slower because of then yeah. No, I brought it with the intention to take a better look. It has symbols on it that if they're inscribed on a different mirror, maybe even see-through glass, it'd probably do the same effect.
Well,
Desmond,
not...
by the way, while looking at the mirror, you do see sigils etched into the frame.
Is it just into the frame, or is there any sigils that are also directly on the mirror?
Just on the frame.
Is Desdemona familiar with any of these sigils?
Is Desdemona familiar with the witchcraft of this world, not the other world?
I think last proper game we had discussed her being at least somewhat familiar. Like, she, not to the point where she can do it herself, like, off the cuff, but she's studied it enough to, like, know what she's looking at. Or at least have a chance of knowing what she's looking at.
Got it, so that'll be an occultism. If you recognize any of these symbols, which we'll say a few of them you do recognize, but the meaning is going to be hidden behind an occultism.
Okay. There it is. Occultism. Alrighty. That'd be an 18.
Alright, you see that some of these sigils, the witchcraft of this world is very simple, it seems, compared to the witchcraft of your previous world. As this one, sigils are simply words given power. So recognizing some of these, you can piece together what the words are. And this is a mirror of true sight, and it's a spell that is etched around the edge. The words of a spell. You can only make out some of the words, but you can always copy down the symbols themselves and possibly activate the spell? Question mark? Maybe some magic behind it? Maybe a magic user? Who knows? But you do recognize that the spell is in the sigil. The sigils.
Well, I can't read all of it, but I do recognize most of these, and it is it's essentially giving it's doing what it's doing. It's letting you see. It's giving you a more accurate, more full sight. I might be able to do what you had suggested. Kind of reinscribe it on a smaller mirror or a dark glass, do something to that effect. I might need help. I might not. I'm not sure. I'm not a... Well, I could. Maybe. I'll put it at that for the time being. Um,
So, how did it go for all of you?
well, um, it was above table. It was Davdak who found the rune, right? Or was it Grak?
Found the rune, but then presented it to you and Grak,
Okay.
and y'all loosely figured out stuff about it.
Well, Davdak here, while we were out and exploring and searching, found a hastily prepared rune inscribed onto the side of a tree, if I remember correctly. Um,
That it was.
and some scorch marks as well. And with some investigation from me and our feline friend here, uh, we were able to discern that the witch likely that she teleported relatively nearby, and I mean relatively on a fairly large scale. The initial teleportation was like 20 to 40 miles away. So unless she had another circle to propel her even farther in that range, she's still probably reasonably close by. But the exact details of where she is are still unknown.
Also, while it's not a particularly small area, we could probably scratch out the whole part of getting closer to the town front, where she teleported at the very least.
True enough. So
Uh,
that takes a piece out of the pie.
Really quick, after Thatcher hears that, he's going to recall that night that she disappeared. I'm assuming that I would be familiar with the surrounding towns at least, like where's generally where what is. Would you say that when she disappeared from my sight, that she disappeared towards that I think you said it was a mining town, right? Did was that in that general direction where she disappeared, or does she even need to be facing that way, or
She disappeared the towards the forest area. Like when
Is
she
there a
walked.
town in the direction she disappeared
Oh,
into?
um,
Or if we were to say, like, imagine where we last saw her in town and where that rune was found, what direction if that would be pointing at a town?
yeah? Because I mean, I followed her actually into the forest, and she disappeared before my eyes. At least me, well, at least Thatcher personally. So or maybe even like within that range, knowing that maybe there's a town within that radius, or yeah, within that radius.
yes, there are a couple depending on which direction you go. But in the straight direction, there is a town, but there's a town to the I forget which way she went, but there's a town directly ahead. There's also another town more north of that. A town to the north. We'll say you guys headed. I forget which way you guys headed. I know it was south. I think it was closer to like southeast, closer to the mining town that you guys originally disappeared. The church is, because it's near. It's like in between the two closest towns. So, but there's in that 20, I think 20-mile radius, right? I said.
20 to 40, yeah.
Yeah, 20 to 40-mile radius. There are a couple towns in the area. One to the north, one to the south, and there's obviously the town that you guys just left from. So we'll say there's 3 towns, and then at the very edge, like the 40-mile radius, there is like a couple more towns, but that's getting farther and farther away.
With
Mostly
those,
because
Sorry.
because there's a railroad nearby.
That's just gonna relay what Grace said. that was a lot to say, and I don't want to like take up too much time. But yeah, basically,
What
that
are
should
the
relay that information.
what are the town names?
Listen, you're gonna have to give me a second.
Also, I think while
Um,
everyone was like talking and doing their thing, Brack was just like slowly like wanting to look at the mirror, but like I think because Hazel and Desdemona were still in the way, he like can't see anything, but he's like slowly trying to look.
Desdemona probably would have gotten out of the way at some point,
Okay.
noticing that Grack is like trying to get a view. She'll just
He's-
step aside.
Yeah, he's just like in the very back, being like, I don't want to be close to people, but he still is like, I want to kind of see, you know?
Yeah.
hold on, I'm writing the names down before I give them.
I was just watching Greg do
that's
this weird
important.
like lean all around and like peek over like up on tippy toes like number, and then realizes that if Greg turns around and sees them looking, that they're probably gonna get shanked, so they stop. And just ignore them. Also, Gray, I can't believe that you would ask me to wait for you to get these names. Like, I gave you the link to
I'm
my note
currently-
page.
I'm currently writing down more town names than I currently need so that I'll have, like, a good amount of town names for me to just spit out when I need to.
That's a
So
good
great.
resource to put together.
Gray, I think I did give you a town name from like when we did the sheet thing, so you have A1.
Well, Davdak will turn to Thatcher and go, so would all of these be located away from Pure Creek then? Or at least starting from, say, around this area, it'd be further. These are all further away from Pure Creek, right? None of them moving towards?
We didn't
Yes.
pass the town to get out to here, so.
Alright, are you ready for these town names?
Yep.
We got Glumhill. The mine area is Springbury. Springbury. Around the edges, because we have Pure Creek already. Around the edges to the north, there is Fairmouth.
Fairmount or
and
Fairmouth?
Mouth. Mouth.
Wow.
Are these going to be written in the Discord too, or?
I wrote them down in my notes. I'll write them as well.
Thank
and
you,
then
thank
we
you.
have Elmborough, to the east, on the other side of the west, because I can't. I suck. But I don't. It's just bad directions. To the west, on the other side of the train tracks. Elmborough.
Okay, so I know Springbury's the mining place, and that one is not like in line, like roughly in line with the direction she was moving before she teleported again. It's Fairmouth and Elmborough.
Yeah.
And which one was Glumhill again?
Glumhill was the other one that's more towards the. It's the smaller, not smaller. It's the closer one to the north. Because to the south is the Springbury, and farther to the north is Elmsborough. Wait, so we might have gotten that mixed up. No. Hold on, I'm writing that down. Elmsborough is west. Springbury is south. Glumhill is north. Oxen is also north. There you go. And I think I said Whitesay was also to the south.
What was the last one?
Whitesay? Oh, wait, no. I have Fairmouth. I got them mixed up. Sorry.
I was gonna say, like, that's not a name that you said.
You're doing
I'm
so
sorry.
great. You're doing great.
I was doing great until I fucked it up.
All these
You're-
matchups
it's
are
all
actually,
good.
is actually Thatcher's poor explaining because he's never been outside Pure Creek.
There you go. It's canon now.
There you go.
No, wait.
Fucking Mal corrects Thatcher at one point from looking at a map for 2 seconds in the town
Yeah.
hall.
No, wait. That one's to the west, and this one's to the east. I think.
That one's
do
north and that
we-
one's west.
Do we in character have a map right now? Like across
Uh,
any of us?
Mal does.
Okay.
I was gonna say, yeah,
So-
probably Mal.
Thank God.
Would during this conversation that map presumably have come out? Or no?
I would assume yes, because Thatcher started listing off after he heard the radius of the spell or the assumed radius of the spell. He would assume
It's not like tossed out where everybody can see it, but it is pulled out and kind of unfolded and then refolded to be focused on the area.
Okay.
And they pull out basically like a little charcoal pencil and scratch out roughly what Thatcher is cluing in.
Just so that we have somebody who's like in character has this stuff down.
What?
Considering Mal has a bag that has like 2 journals, a bunch of paper, like loose paper crammed between them, what looks to be like it's the contents of 2 writing kits worth. And a bunch of other
Yeah,
like random shit. They seem to have it pretty down on lock.
You don't,
Good to
you
know.
Don't, you don't have faith that Thatcher will remember eventually, like
Ah.
everything rightly.
That's funny. That's cute.
Also, I think during this whole conversation, Grak is just not gonna be listening, and he's gonna like fully like edge up to the mirror so he can actually look. He's just like fully letting you he's having the conversation.
What are Fairmouth and Elmborough known for, if anything? Besides being north and west, respectively. If it's nothing of note, don't worry about it. Just say no.
Elmsborough is more of a logging town. And Fairmouth is just like, it's a trade hub. It's next to the railroad, so it's a good trade hub. It's a bigger town than Pure Creek.
Is this place Oxen you mentioned? That was unrelated to anything else?
Oxen, just a large farming town. They have a lot of like, because they're close-ish, to Glumhill. There's a lot of like overlap. Glumhill has like a foresty area, and Oxen is on the northern side of that. So it is through the forest, and so they're like hunting. There's a lot of venison and deer and stuff like that they have, and also like pelts and other small bits of things. You know, it's a hunting town. But also trade, because with hunting comes trade.
Somebody was prepping a rabbit, right?
Yes. Desdemona has one already pre-prepped rabbit next to her and was finishing up with the second one right as he all got back.
As soon as Thatcher like stops and takes a second to like take in the surroundings, you hear his stomach growl like really loud.
And on that particular note, I suppose I should get cooking. And Des will stand up from the discussion about where everything is pointing and head over and pick up the rabbits and I suppose begin to make a fire somewhere and start cooking.
I'm trying to remember things. It's a lot of hard work.
That it is indeed.
Also, Gray, because Grak is like looking in the mirror at this point, does he see anything?
You see a 2-year-old sitting on your shoulder, arms wrapped around your neck, and it just kind of has one head peeking over your shoulder, just staring at you through the mirror. Its eyes locked on yours. You recognize this reflection as yourself after a minute. When you move, it moves.
I was gonna do that, but I decided not to do that.
When you move, it moves, and you go, "Oh shit, that's me." and then you see
I
the child and you're like, oh shit, that's me.
I was gonna do that, but I was like, nah. That was funny though.
Like you're like all your hair starts standing up too, like before you realize.
Tail doing the like the bottle brush puff out.
Yeah.
I think Grak is gonna like try to like touch the 2-year-old's like head, and I'm assuming his hand's just gonna go through it, and he's gonna be like,
Yeah.
oh, cool. He's gonna be like, oh, okay, and like be weirded out and just stare.
He's just gonna try and talk to the kid, see if they get a reaction.
Ooh.
What do you say?
They're
Ooh,
yeah, what did he
what?
say?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Oh, that's what you mean.
I
I
was
had
about
war
to do the same thing.
flashbacks. Just immediate war flashbacks to every dad joke I had to endure when I did hearing screening. Do either of you have a family history of hearing loss? Immediately, every dad in a 4-mile radius. Huh? What? What? I'm just kidding with you. Shut up! Shut up! I'm gonna fucking kill you.
I wasn't even trying to make a joke. I was just answering.
Yeah, I know. I know, but if anybody was gonna do it, it would be you, Devin.
I absolutely love it. I was laughing.
But anyway,
Yeah, talk to the kid. Mal, the closest Mal got was the, like, poor fucker in the mirror.
The child just stares, locks eyes with you. It blinks, and then it just nods once. This took a significant amount of time.
I was gonna say, imagine the child blinking one eye at a time, and it just taking a very long time.
Question:
So-
can we see like each other's thing, or can only like Hazel see?
You can see each other's things.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So, so basically Hazel asked the question, and then after a long period of time, the child responded.
Yeah.
They're gonna slowly just walk away from the mirror and go sit down next to Desdemona.
Because you asked that out loud, so, like, Mal does, like, look over, like, looking between you and the, like, thing on your shoulder in the reflection. Not really expecting anything until they freeze in place and just go ramrod tense.
I think Grak is just gonna continue staring, and then he's gonna like do the finger guns and like say Philip, and he's just gonna name the child Philip.
oh my gosh.
That's his name now.
Don't name it. I'm just kidding.
Well, it has a name now.
Because once you name it, you'll get attached to it. Now put that thing.
It's
back-
already attached.
It's horrible. Anyway,
Does that just nod at you?
Are you talking to Hazel?
Yes.
Hazel just looks and nods.
I hate that.
so they can hear us then.
It's horrible. It means something is conscious, whether it's really them or not, on us.
Indeed.
What happens when we need to go use the restroom?
Oh, that is not even what was making me uncomfortable about it, but that is also not pleasant.
Yeah, the original discomfort was that the children aren't at rest. They're just hanging on to every single person, and if anything bad happens to them because of the curse, the children are there to witness it. Potentially responsible if they're not actually the children. There's too many. Maybe some type of spirit.
Ah, uh, yeah.
Well, that's grim.
Anyway, who wants some rabbits? And Desdemona holds up a rabbit drumstick, the first one to get fully cooked.
Rick is gonna like snap his head in the direction and like walk away from the mirror very quickly.
Or
Well-
it's the drumstick.
Yeah.
Mal is pacing now in front of the mirror.
Desdemona just hands it over. It's seasoned. Desdemona has seasonings somewhere in her
This
many things that she has.
this is an uncommon thing, the fact that it's seasoned. Like, seasonings, hard to come by.
Expensive.
I'm assuming that it smells different, right?
Probably a little bit. It's not like heavily seasoned because she doesn't have a whole ton of spices, but she's got spices.
Ooh, that's gonna make like Thatcher's mouth start to water.
Desdemona will kind of pass out the food as it finishes.
Also, Grack, how did you know that the baby on your shoulder was a boy?
He just guessed.
Well,
The child's gonna be Philip whether it was a girl or a boy.
okay. I was just wondering if I had said their genders before.
No. He just named it Philip. Just to name it Philip.
Okay, well, he is a boy.
Okay, cool.
I revealed this on accident. Kind of?
Nah.
No, it was on purpose, but I was just wondering.
Nah. Just
Dang.
Philip was the first name that came to my mind, honestly.
Even at that age, it's kind of hard to tell.
By the way.
Of the baby.
Yeah. By the way, since we can actually see them in the mirror, can we tell what kind of otherkin they are? Now that they're not skeletons?
They are not skeletons. You can see that they have pointed ears, but not fully elf pointed ears, if that makes sense.
So all of our like little ghost children are the same otherkin?
They
Species?
seem to be the same species, yes.
Okay.
They all look related to one another.
Yeah. You cannot see like any like details on hair color, skin color, anything like that because they're this ethereal kind of pallid blue, like see-through-y, but not like they're when you're looking through the mirror, they are opaque enough to like see. Opaque is the where you can see it, not you can't see it.
Yes.
Right? Okay. yeah,
Yes.
they're
Opaque
enough
means
to
not
be-
see-through.
to be obscuring the background, but they are still like transparent enough to see movement behind them, if that makes sense. Like you just can't really tell what it is.
I'm imagining like frosted glass.
Yeah. But a pallid blue. That's the way that I describe it in my notes.
Eventually, Mal, like, stops the pacing in front of the mirror and turns to face it, looking at the child. Just mulls over something for a moment before finally. Can you see everything that we can see?
There's a long pause. And a single nod.
Are you a child of Mariah?
Nod. And then you get this, like, crushing feeling. This feeling within your chest, and you can tell it's not from you. The child frowns, and you feel this, like, heavy weight in your chest form. and it is that of guilt, as if you are being judged.
Sorry, was just wondering if you were her sister's kid instead.
Did we all feel that, or was it just Mal?
Mal felt that. And I don't know if Mal reacted physically, but
Oh,
it
they're
was-
like, their shoulders hunch just slightly. They seem to like bow their back a bit before they straighten back up. Well, straighten for Mal.
yeah.
They somehow shrimped even harder for a second there.
Also, because I forgot to ask, which shoulder is the ghost child on?
The right.
Thank you.
It's on the right shoulder, like, but it's got its arms wrapped around your neck, because I think catfolk are a little shorter, right?
Yes, I think I made my catfolk like average male size. I don't remember. I'll have to pull it up.
That's okay. But if he is shorter than, like, 5 foot, the arms are wrapped around the neck, and taller, it's just 2 arms over the shoulder.
I think he was like 5'6" or something, I want to say.
Then, Philip, as you say, is chilling on your shoulder. Like, just the 2 arms, kind of like where they're flopped on top of you a little bit. His armpits are resting upon your shoulder, and his arms are forward.
Cool, 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 cool. Thank you.
Is your mom going to kill everyone she cursed?
The child does not respond, but you feel dread. You fear, like, it's dread and fear that you feel.
Even their children?
The child nods.
Do you want her to?
The child does not respond.
Desdemona, who has been, after having noticed that Mal had stopped pacing, had turned around to watch this interaction happen, as just kind of gets up and leans over. If you can, you should ask where, or if, I mean, I suppose I could, but you're having the conversation, if they know where their mother is.
Why would they sell her out?
I don't know. We're not necessarily looking to do anything negative. We're just looking for solace.
If they wanted to stop a bunch of people from dying, including other children, they could have shook their head no. If you want to ask, you have the same weight.
And she'll just kind of step up and stand next to Mal and make eye contact with the 4-year-old over her shoulders.
They both have the same kid on their shoulders.
I want to so bad to have the kid wave at the other kid, but that's too light.
Not canon. Not sad enough.
I don't know if that's
Headcanon.
light. That's still kind of creepy.
Yeah, but it's like it's
Tiny.
creepy in a goofy way.
Because then it's like, okay, so they are the same kid, but there's multiples of them to be on everybody's shoulder, which means either it's a shared consciousness thing, or the reason they're so, like, low energy and despondent is because, like, little shards of all of their souls. Yeah, that's super fucked up.
That's what I was guessing.
So like slowly the soul becomes whole as more people like die off or something to the
Oh,
curse, and then they're at
God.
rest. Like that's the fucked up thing
Oh my
Mal is currently
lord.
imagining right now. There's a
That's-
reason Mal does not look fucking excited about any of this.
That's okay. My intrusive thought was, what happens if I bonk these two kids' heads together? Would they touch? Would a reaction happen?
But anyway, Desdemona just kind of tries to put on as like comforting a face as she can, because like she's probably never looked directly into the eyes of a ghost to speak to one before, but she's definitely tried to speak to ghosts before. Oh,
Also, Gray, read Jin chat for a second.
Ah!
um, I know none of us really know you or knew you. I know we didn't really do all that we could to help with what happened, but if there's a way that we can find peace for you and peace for your mother, um, we would have a vested interest in doing so. Uh, I can't imagine there's any way you could tell us where she is, or at the very least, if she headed in the direction of any of the towns that we were talking about. It's evident that you were able to hear what we said,
You
so.
are cut off by the feeling of what feels like a punch to the gut. Your
Like,
heart
emotionally or
hurts.
physically?
Like, the wind is knocked out of you. Like you started to feel this like aching in your heart when you asked like where the mother was, and you were like, okay, whatever, I can power through this. And then you kept talking, and the wind is knocked out of you, and you're just in pain. It goes away after a few moments, and you're able to catch your breath. But this is obviously a no-no topic.
Alright. I'm sorry. I understand. Yeah, looking to Mal, I don't think we're getting that. And Desdemona's like clutching her chest and like massaging her diaphragm, like. Suppose that'll be up to us to figure out.
It'll be up to us to figure out until everybody dies off. I have an ill feeling that the first will die soon.
Oh, goodness.
They kind of look back to the mirror and meet the kid's eyes. There were crows all over the house of the one who hurt her.
Hearing that, Desdemona also kind of gets a look of, well, it can't really be that sad about it.
Not until it gets to us.
I mean, she doesn't say that, she just kind of has that look to herself.
Yeah, okay.
About that particular instance.
The worst part is once people start dropping, they're going to start pointing more fingers.
And those fingers are going to be pointed at us.
People get desperate quick.
I know. Oh, looking to Thatcher. Said you're confident that people don't really know about this place, church?
As far as I'm aware, no. I've been coming out here for a while now, and I don't remember seeing folk come around, but at the same time, I'm not really looking out. So
They know that
And
it's here, at least. It was in the town records. Originally a church built for otherkin.
I suddenly feel as though we may want to evacuate relatively soon. And I feel like this should have been asked earlier suddenly, but you're certain that neither of you were followed on your way back?
Mal gives an unimpressed look.
Thatcher thinks back to him just trying to be sneaky and him not looking out. He goes, "No."
Even if they followed me down any of the tracks themselves, I did stipulate on our way out and way back to use branches to cover our tracks.
Alright.
If they find us, it's because they're hunters. Lucky. Not because we're stupid enough to stay here for too long. We should move on to either Fairmouth or Elmsborough and look for her.
I would agree.
Any particular recommendations for which town to go to? Mostly directed at Thatcher.
Thatcher goes, to be truthful, I never heard or I never left Pure Creek, so I couldn't really give you a personal feelings about either or.
It would probably be
Maybe
easier to hide in Elmsborough if it's a logging place. But you said Fairmouth was a trade hub.
yes.
Yeah. More likely to find information in Fairmouth, if there is any. And Elmsborough would be easier to hide in. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to figure out where either of her sisters moved. Wasn't in the records. Oh. She had sisters. They kind of shrug, like, yeah, now you know.
How many sisters?
2. She's older than both of them. Raised them when their parents died. Mara and Joanna.
Well, that is a shame that we don't have a lead of where they might have moved, but at least we have a heading, more or less.
She did donate money, much like her parents, to have the railroad built, and it's easier to move out along the railroads. So maybe one of her sisters moved down it.
Treading Town seems to be a little bit more likely then.
And I mean, theoretically, if we were to want to chance it again, we could probably try and hop the train to get in. It was mentioned that there was a train track running through Fairmouth, right?
Yeah. We could have
Oh.
the train jump back out near town whenever it makes a bend and has to slow.
And Fairmouth being north and Elmsborough being west, seems like this is, unless we want to, just like, would we, like, this wouldn't be really something that we could, like, go to one and then go to the other while still taking the same, like, or while still heading the same direction. It's not like, Elmsborough is west, but, like, northwest enough that we could go to one and then hit the other.
I think Grace said that the railroad runs northeast and southwest, so yeah, we would end up further away from one of them if we took the train.
So that's not an option.
We would have to hoof it on foot to the other. Admittedly, they're near enough each other that they probably have a road, but not the train.
Well, all things considered, I would probably put my vote towards Fairmouth as well. And I would recommend that we make this decision quickly. And I don't mean within the day, I mean within the hour. I've been chased out of towns enough times to know that they're going to come looking eventually, and that eventually is not going to be a long time away.
That's not going to be too inconvenient for you, or is it, Thatcher?
Oh, I can never go back home.
Ah,
I honestly don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess just kind of float around, and if y'all are willing to have me in your company, I wouldn't mind traveling with y'all.
Well, oh, goodness.
I mean, we were all going to be hanged for witchcraft and cursing people, right? What's kidnapping gonna really do to the sentence?
You
Fair
see that
enough.
Patrick kind of like he kind of like almost lets out a little chuckle, and he goes, uh, yeah. I mean, if you don't want to travel with me, yeah, that's fine. But at least until we find out what's going on with this here curse, and then after that we can go our separate ways if we like.
Nah, I was saying that you could come along, kid.
His eyes kind of light up as you say that, and he goes, "Oh, okay, thank you."
Mal does glance over at Grak and the yet to be named, before looking back to Davdak and Thatcher talking.
Sorry, my mic was muted the whole time.
Oof.
Aw, F.
I have a button on my headset and it was muted the entire time. That's great. But Grak is gonna look at Mal and Thatcher and he's gonna be like, "Didn't you guys say that word has already spread about us to the town you just visited?"
There's a rumor that there were other kin around, and thus there's a rumor growing that you all had something to do with the witch. And Thatcher's uncle, it seems, has lied to say that you all kidnapped him in specific because he saw you. I tried to take them slightly off the trail with the newspaper, but there's no telling how well that will sell. But a small town like this isn't likely to talk to strangers, and that includes people from other towns. Besides maybe a gossip if someone meets up. So, the other towns shouldn't already know.
Well,
Grak is.
oh, I wanted to speak up when I heard that. Sorry.
You're
Well,
good.
they talked to you and you was a stranger, weren't you?
I pretend to be a census taker.
Hey, strange.
And pauses. And you know what? You can tell that there's like more that Mal's just gonna say, and they just stop.
You'll just like I'm guessing you're looking at my character. My character just like sits in the silence, like it's the most comfortable place to him.
No. As soon
Just
as they
looking right
stop,
back.
they look back away. Pulls back out a journal and seems to go back to whatever note taking they were doing before, after talking to the kid.
Oh,
My character's gonna motion to Grak to like just come over, and just like I'm assuming there's some place to sit because I don't think my character would be standing this long.
There's a bunch of fucked up old, like, eating up pews.
But they're
And just
sturdy
like
enough to hold someone's weight.
like they're not sturdy enough.
They are. Some of
Oh.
them aren't, but they're already like decrepit.
I was gonna say you probably go for one of them, and Thatcher goes, "Oh, not that one. That one's no good."
Mal is sitting on top of the bell again.
My character's gonna motion to Grack and just like pat on the pew next to him, just like to come sit down.
Grak is gonna like look between Mal and Chris's character and just like go over to Chris's character.
My character's gonna whisper to Grack, try to make it, try to be as private as possible. Now, I don't trust these humans. I don't trust them. One bit. They lied to us about looting that place. Look at that mirror right there. I think it's in our best interest to go, follow them, get this curse lifted, stop them from murdering an innocent woman if she ends up being innocent, and then part our ways. I don't think it's in our best interest to follow them any further than that, but I do think it's our best chance of getting this curse removed. And then he's just gonna kind of pat Grack on the back and say, "You can go back over there if you want."
He's just gonna shrug his shoulders and be like, "Alright."
Okay.
Yeah.
I like your
Yeah.
funny words, Magic Man.
Essentially, that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna be like, okay.
All right. And before that, we have a little pause. We're gonna go ahead and pause for like 5 minutes. I'm gonna go make some either mini corn dogs or little taquitos because I got hungry and I need food. So y'all go
Alrighty.
grab a snack too, and we'll reconvene in a few minutes once everyone's back.
Don't lie to the people. I watch your guys' stream on YouTube all the time. It's never 5 minutes. It's always like almost 15.
Oh, it's okay. I just muted you on stream. It's fine.
Sag.
Anywho, we'll be right back, and thank you, Ron Durandi. Sorry, we're gonna go on break really quick. I need a little granola bar. Oh!
Back and ready to go, and from what I'm looking at, it's
Yep.
still okay. That I'm just behind for some reason. Um, but anyway, at some point, while it seems like people are still kind of milling about and we're not like leaving, because obviously there are some things left to be done. Desdemona is going to go over to um the mirror, and she's just going to start inspecting all of the runes and doing her best to memorize them as best as she possibly can. And she's going to search to see if in anywhere in like just in all of her trinkets, if she just happens to have like maybe like a 2 or 3 inch wide chunk of like glass pane, because that's something she might have.
Roll a d20. I'll tell you high or low.
Just a flat
After you
d20.
roll it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, it's a 9.
Okay. That'll do it. You have one.
All right, cool.
I went
So
really low in my head. Ha ha ha.
cool. So yeah, so she rifles through and she finds this and she kind of looks at it and um she's gonna go outside the church and start searching for a hunk of wood um that she could like, if you can find a branch that either like widens out or just like branches, like a branch that like is like a Y branch that's like pretty hefty, um that she could essentially use to like try and turn this into like kind of the same shape as like a magnifying glass, like carve out a slot in the branch to set um the piece of glass into, and then she could use that the actual wooden part of the branch to carve in the runes, or like as a spot to hold the runes, like how the frame is on the.
You are able to find the branch, but
Okay.
Do you have the crafting skill?
I do believe she actually does have the crafting skill. Yes. Because what like carving wands is something that I made very specific for her, like as a pastime for her. So woodworking is something that she is proficient in.
Give me a roll.
All right. So like, I imagine this probably would take some time, but if we're not currently on the move, no, that's not the one that I want to roll. It's not great. That is a total of 10.
Unfortunately, that's not enough to make a suitable casing for this glass.
All right.
Level 1's a little rough.
Yeah. I have a +5. I just rolled badly. Oh.
Don't you got a bronze? Oh, it's too late. Just kidding.
Oh yeah, I do, but I forgot. Yeah. So I assume that like she wouldn't have tried to like shove the glass into it at first, like, so I'm just assuming that the branch she found that would have worked is now ruined.
I wouldn't say necessarily ruined, but you cannot figure out a way forward without breaking either the glass or the
Okay.
branch.
All right, then she's just gonna kind of like she'll keep hold of the branch and just like start carving it into a more comfortable handle shape. Just like the non like functional part that isn't holding the glass in, and we'll just start kind of outlining with like a charcoal pencil where she's going to carve in the runes without actually doing anything significant to it yet or trying to connect the two pieces any further.
Basically, because you failed your check, the best point of action is going to be having someone else help you.
Okay.
Like I said, any further work on it will probably break either the glass or the branch, and you have the know-how to know, okay, this is a little bit out of my expertise. Either I need to try again later, when I have a little bit more expertise, or use different material, or ask for help.
Okay. And would that, like, even on the non-functional part of it, that's just the part that you hold, is that also not, like, could I not work, like, just work on that idly? Or no?
Yeah, you can work that to make it, like, not splintery or barky.
So yeah, she'll for now just go on in and start working on that part while people are taking notes or deliberating or anything else.
Got it. Sorry, I was drinking water. So what exactly were you doing? You were woodworking the handle?
Yes, essentially just like carving it down from being a branch to being an actual holdable part that's comfortable.
Yeah. Easily doable. I'm not gonna make you roll for it because you are taking your time to do it.
Cools.
Do it right. You can just take a flat 10 plus your modifier, and that'll get it done. I'm not gonna nitpick everything, just some things.
Yeah, like I'm totally on board for the actual process of trying to attach a piece of glass to a wood being complicated, but I mean, making wood into a handle-shaped thing is probably something that she's familiar with if she's been making wands for the last like 10 years. Or wand-shaped objects. She'll probably, while she's doing this, go and sit down next to Hazel. And if Blake is not currently still, like, in pain and trying to remedy that, she'll probably, like, nudge Hazel to get their attention.
Hazel is still currently in pain.
Okay,
So
then
Hazel
she'll
is
just
zoned
leave,
out in the
leave him
corner.
be. She'll still probably come sit down next to them, but not bug her at all.
All right. Anyone else do anything while this is happening? Because Desdemona is taking a little bit of time to carve a handle. This is going to take a minute.
Mal just writes on the bell. At one point, Will does like take out a sheet of paper and charcoal, and will make will like mark down the like writings that are on the frame by just taking copies of them that way. But that is what they do besides sitting there and writing down a bunch of shit.
Grak probably just gonna continue looking at his right shoulder and like trying to pat the head, even though he knows he can't see anymore. He's just gonna like pat the head
He knows
of the
it's
ghost
there.
child. Yeah, he's just gonna like look at his shoulder and pat the head and do all that stuff. Just like interact with the child without seeing it.
Thatcher's gonna take a step away, and he's gonna go within eye shot, but he's not gonna be too close by. And he's gonna whip out his handy dandy harmonica, and he's actually gonna start continuing his warm ups, or he's gonna start his warm ups.
The sudden sound of like non-nature probably makes this boat jump a little bit. But no further interaction.
Yeah, it's a harmonica in the key of C, so it sounds a little bit more like zippy, I guess you would say.
Harmonica noises.
Happy harmonica noises.
With the introduction of a bit of music off at the distance, kind of Devdak will put on a bit of a smile and kind of do up a pipe and just begins to kind of smoke as he's kind of fiddling and like cleaning his tools.
Ugh. I can't wait for a risky surgery from Dabdak.
A what?
Risky
Nothing.
surgery.
Don't worry about it.
Just some medical stabbing.
It's just a DA damage for a possible improved outcome. It's fine.
Ah,
Just don't get hurt and it won't happen to you.
it's okay. I got magic hands.
Alright. So, the rest of the afternoon goes without event, if I should say that, because everyone's kind of minding their own business. Time passes forward. You hear a train off in the distance. You get the horn. No, the whistle. Yes, the whistle as it passes by. But aside from that, nothing out of the ordinary in the forest, except for the occasional little critter. But
If nothing else is happening for the rest of the afternoon, at some point or another, Desdemona will kind of stand up and just ask the room, anybody in here know anything about woodworking at all? I could use some assistance if anybody does.
Thatcher looks at his +0 crafting and says,
Hmm.
sorry, I wish I could help.
Mal
Anybody?
considers exactly how petty they want to be at their +6 crafting.
Dang.
Brack is
Hmm,
gonna like do the
but-
thing. Oh, sorry, go for it.
No, I was just being more
Oh,
petty.
okay, okay. Brack, like in school when you like lean your head over the chair and like your head's upside down. Brack is gonna do one of those things because he's still sitting in the pews and he's gonna look at Desdemona and he's gonna shake his head and just sit back up.
Oh, anybody just willing to be an extra pair of hands for me then?
I can help.
That would be very much appreciated. I know we're
Snap the
looking
book shut awful loud.
like Desdemona hasn't even done anything to Mal.
That's why they offered to help.
Yeah.
They just had to think about it for a second.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, Des will come over to the bell and so you'd mentioned the possibility of transferring some kind of or some of the runes from the mirror onto something. So I figured I could whip up some kind of almost like a magnifying glass, but for reality as such. And I figured since the runes on the mirror are what they are on the support structure rather than the mirror itself, I should probably have some kind of handle or of frame. So I just need to figure out how I can attach these. And having an extra pair of hands to figure something out would be helpful. So,
Do you have a knife?
yes, and very, very evidently and openly, Mona has a very large knife sheathed on one hip, but pulls out a much smaller, more reasonable for woodworking sized, like whittling knife that she uses.
And Mal will sit there with Desdemona, figuring out the best design for it and try to, not trying to make it look pretty, just trying to make it effective.
Yep.
And rather than having to cut out an exact size, like, hole in the middle, we'll probably just, like, make one that is smaller than the piece of glass and then just make a lip around it because it just has to sit in it and then it can be pinned from the, like, top side so that it won't fall out.
Yeah, I'm imagining essentially eventually like not making like a full magnifying glass loop around the glass, just essentially having like the Y shape on the bottom and
Or
maybe
just share
like
a wedge. Yeah, that's even
yeah,
easier.
like a wedge, and then have it so like the glass is like sitting perpendicularly, and then maybe using some cordage or maybe some kind of glue if there's like pine pitched around somewhere that they could use.
There's so many pine trees, you can just
Yeah,
snap one.
like so something like that. And they've I imagine we've still got a fire running from that, so making like a pine pitch glue with that or a bit of ash and a bit of ash would be feasible. So are we making just a like is one of us getting a roll with advantage or are bonuses imposed? I'm not entirely sure since
So
works in P2E.
there's a couple of ways you could take that. At this stage in the game, it would probably be more beneficial for you both to roll and
Okay.
just kind of like go with the higher roll. Because assisting at this time, you need to hit a DC 20 to give a +1 circumstance bonus to somebody.
Okay.
But I like your funny words, Magic Man. So, you guys get a circumstantial bonus of +1 to each of your rolls because I like
Alrighty.
the descriptions and everything. So, give yourselves a +1.
Okay,
Coolio.
Good job.
a 12, so an 18, so a 19.
All right, and I rolled Total of 14.
Your dice are going to dice jail, but a 19
Yeah, I've been
will do
using
it.
different dice every time, man.
Oh, it's because you're not being loyal. You gotta
Because they
trust in
keep
the heart of the
rolling
cards.
badly.
Nice slut. How could you?
I say with my 5 sets of dice that I use for this campaign. But, to be fair, I only roll dice that are corresponding colors to the rolls I'm making.
That's what I did the first time, and it did me wrong. But
Now I have my pretty they are black, gold, and clear, but it can be kind of hard to tell, so they just look like this weird ink pool with like a slight like golden glint to like the
it
foggy
sounds
part.
super cool.
Yeah, they like I think that it's technically like a misprint. Um but they also have little gold skulls that are like right in the middle. So they look really sick.
Sick. I love it. Are these designated as Mal's dice, or are they just your favorite dice?
They were just the prettiest ones nearby. I have to pull out the collection to find one that fits, because the skull thing isn't really Mal's vibe.
Valid. But, okay. So the 19's gonna do it. So you make a little fancy little magnifying glass. Kind of a looking glass, to say more accurately.
Alrighty.
And then,
The question
would you
is,
like to do
does
the
it
honors?
work?
Yeah. I imagine during the time before she started putting all the stuff, or before she assisted, or not assisted, requested assistance with putting everything together, she probably would have already, like, carved the rune part. Unless you want me to make a roll for that, in which case, then obviously she would not have.
Oh no, you're fine. You can
Okay.
absolutely do it.
Alright, so, oh, I have somewhat of an idea of how I'm supposed to do this, but I'm not exactly like a full-fledged, I don't exactly do spells and such, so I'm not 100% sure if I can do this myself, but, I know how to kind of set magic onto something, so I might have something within my assortment of odds and ends that I could use to make this work. So
I think you should be fine. The magic of your world isn't the magic of this, and that's what they were using.
Desdemona just kind of gets like gives a very brief odd look, or not odd look, but like conflicted look of hearing your world, but she's just gonna look through her esoterica and look for something that would that would pertain to like sight or looking. She does specifically, one of the things that I have within her esoterica is an eye that's encased in amber, that normally she uses to, it doesn't actually like do anything that has to do with acid, but it's normally used to, it has to do with acid weakness, but it is just a mildly magical eye encased in amber. So she searches through for a while and picks that up and kind of sets the looking glass down, probably on the altar of the church, if that's still around and like available. Um, and
Yes, and that is
okay,
actually called a. It starts with a T, I think,
I mean,
or D, whatever. I know what you're talking about, though. The little like standy thing.
yeah, like the pulpit. But I mean, there is also
Yeah.
like the but but usually behind that there is like the actual altar where they like put the holy stuff.
Oh yeah, no, that's decrepit and gone.
Okay, so then she'll just put it up on the pulpit and kind of hesitate for a half second, but go to her side, the opposite side of where the knife is holstered, to like it looks like a repurposed arrow quiver. And she rifles through it for a moment and searches through all of the other like strangely carved lengths of wood, and takes out one particular one. That's actually really plain compared to the other one. It is essentially just a length of wood with a sort of like hook-shaped, like almost like a spike that sort of like hooks forward a little bit, that she hooks her finger into as almost like a trigger shape. Um, she holds that in her left hand and holds the amber eye out, like kind of between the end of the wand and where the looking glass is situated. And she just kind of focuses for a moment, and like a few little crackles of energy like crackle between the wand, or the tip of the wand, and the eye in the amber. And she just kind of focuses for a moment and starts kind of muttering to herself a few, like, it's hard to tell if it's just reassurances to herself to like you got this, you can do this, or if she's actually saying some kind of like chant to focus this. But after a few moments, I imagine if this is successful, or regardless of it is, something's gonna happen. She's just going to try to direct what energy she has into the rune on the looking glass and see if that works.
All right. Now the looking glass, the sigils begin to light one by one until after about the third or fourth, the light stops and it does not pass through.
As in, like, it doesn't pass through, as in it's not working?
It is not working.
Okay. Ah,
It almost worked, but not quite. It was, with the base occult, I'm sure you can reach above a 10, but I'll give it
Circles
to you
are important.
anyways. The This just seems like incompatible magic.
huh. She'll kind of look up and look out across the pews to wherever Thatcher's sitting. Thatcher, could I possibly request your assistance?
Thatcher looks up and he goes, well, yes, of course. What can I help you with?
Well, um, the little bit of magical capacity that I know how to invoke is, at least with this particular piece of memorabilia, and she holds up her the wand that she was using. It, I believe, is it is more associated with the other worlds. So, as at least as far as I'm aware, the magic that you have demonstrated is more of the space that we're currently occupying. So I was wondering if you could maybe help by channeling some of that into this to get it up and running.
Oh, certainly. I'll see what I can. Remember, I'm not too adept, but I'll give it a go.
All right. Not 100% sure how this is going to work, but do you know any kind of spells that deal with like a sight? You know, any like something that might let you see in the dark, or um, something like that. Anything like that.
Um, y- yeah, I do. And then he's going to he has the cantrip light, if that's what you're asking.
Um, oh yeah, I like that. That very well may work. I have no idea how this is actually working. But is that you're saying that out loud, or is that table?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, um, I suppose if this does work, we will be illuminating our to the other um realities that this looking glass will allow us to see into. It's this is more of an art than a science, so just we'll bear we can give it a try. Um, so now if you can try and focus the energy of that spell, focus the focus less on actually doing the spell exactly, but just focus on what that spell is and what that spell's doing, and um focus it in on the looking glass. I'm going to try to do what I did before, and hopefully that put together will get it working. Yes, let's give it a try again. And she kind of goes into the same kind of stance, but standing a little bit to the side so that Thatcher can take up a spot next to her. And she's just going to start going through the same process that she had gone before.
All right, sounds good. Hold on. Actually, I forgot that I have special spells because of my lineage, so give me a second. Also,
Take the time you need.
I have to ask Grace something, but since we're in the same room, it can be private.
Fair.
I love forgetting about things that are in my character sheet. It's my favorite thing.
Hell yeah. Also, like, I absolutely recognize that this is like the most. I have no idea how this is working or how normally this would work in the rules of Pathfinder 2e. I'm just following where I'm being pushed.
If it works, it works, you know?
Yeah, and then it'll be cool.
You gotta trust yourself. Do what you think. You can actually choose to cast no magic and just channel your own magic as well. Like you can't, you cannot cast a spell and just try to channel like your own spell casting. You can try that. You can try casting a spell. You can try whatever you want. You can try licking it for all I care. Yeah.
Just send the
Magic is
vibes,
done
man.
by witches from this one, so mimicking the type of magic they do is going to get you better results.
Yeah. Um. Well, out of character, Thatcher doesn't really know where his magic comes from. Um. So he's certainly just gonna try to just channel his own magic into it, which I guess would be really the same thing. But yeah, he's just gonna focus on putting a little bit of magic into the runes. He
Alright.
closes his eyes, and what does he see?
You don't necessarily see anything. You closed your eyes, right?
Yeah, I closed my eyes, trying to focus, casting or channeling magic into the runes.
You don't see as much as you feel. You feel almost like this gentle warmth. emanate from within your chest, and it channels itself out of your chest into your arm, down to your hand, and into the mirror. And this feels almost like it's an extension of yourself, as Desdemona watches. When Thatcher does this, there is a slight glow to the runes, and then one by one, quicker than before, they all light up. The light shines brightly for a moment and then fades. So, ta-da.
Thatcher's gonna I'm assuming after everything starts to happen, obviously he sees it, and he's gonna be taken aback that it actually worked, and he goes, "I have no idea what this means." Did it work? Is this what we were looking for?
Well, does anyone try the mirror or the looking glass?
You and Desdemona are welcome to take the honor. If you see a kid, congratulations.
I think Thatcher shake
I'm so sorry, I was muted.
Ah,
I was wondering why there was silence.
Yeah. So yeah. I like she essentially is just getting excited, and reaches down and picks up the looking glass. Now we don't necessarily know if this properly worked yet, but let's give it a try. And she just kind of lifts it and puts it between herself and Thatcher, and we'll just kind of use it as a like not a like a magnifying glass, like just kind of is like, can she see through the glass and see the child on Thatcher's shoulders?
Yes.
I feel as though I shouldn't be as excited about it as I am, but it does work.
Thatcher's gonna have a smile on his face, like an open smile, and then you said that it works, and then it's gonna immediately go away, and he's gonna go, what does that mean? Why did it work when I touched it?
Well, I mean, as I said, I believe these particular set of symbols are associated with magic of this particular realm, and he gestures towards the one that is now mixed in with like a dozen others in the pouch. The magic that I can invoke through that, I believe, I still don't 100% know, but I believe it is associated with another realm. So I think it just didn't quite get along properly. So your magic, which comes through you and your of this place, I guess that just got along better with the runes. So here it is. We've got something a little bit more portable that we can tote around than an entire mirror. Looks to Thatcher and also to Mal. We did it!
Thatcher still looks concerned as hell.
Well done to the both of you. It does mean that we have a more portable and useful resource. It's a good tool.
And I mean, who knows what else this might allow us to see. I don't know exactly what the level of ability of that mirror is, but from what I could tell, it's got some not insignificant power to it.
It could look through Thatcher's illusion earlier. It can see the children from the curse. It could see active magic circles in the cellar, which means it can likely see any hidden message runes, other magics that have not been activated or are already active. There's a host of things. As I said, well done. It's a good tool.
Indeed. Um,
And we can make multiple.
we sure can. I don't know if I necessarily have any more pieces of glass like this. But
It's easy enough to buy some compact mirrors from the trade hubs down when we go.
indeed.
They can be popped out and made wooden frames instead. Or even metal ones if we can get the tools to put etchings into metal.
Indeed. Is most very certainly going to be helpful in our pursuits.
Impressive, to say the least.
Oh, I'd all from what I can tell, the majority of the actual impressive energy came from Thatcher. I think I kind of just directed some of it.
Sitting at one of the pews with like his hand in it, or his head in his hands, like confused.
Certainly not anything to be that worked up about.
Maybe, but I don't know why I am the way that I am.
Well, I think a lot of people don't. From what I can tell, the way you are has been mighty helpful. So,
A light comes back to Thatcher's face as you say that, and he goes, oh, thank you. I appreciate your appreciation.
of course. Now, I suppose, like, there's a kind of conflicted look on Desdemona's face for a moment. But then she just kind of looks back up to Mal and Thatcher, like, all three of us kind of contributed to making this. So who exactly is going to be holding on to it for the time being? I mean, it's obviously going to be a resource for the group temporarily, at the very least. But who's
Then it might be better for you to keep it. Mal rises from wherever they had moved to help work on the thing and retreats back to the bell.
all right. Thatcher, is that all right by you as well?
That sounds fine to me.
All right. And a very, like, kid who was just given permission to play with a new toy kind of look comes over Desdemona's face, and she, like, looks down at it and kind of
Desdemona's
does.
just gonna run all over the church, looking at literally fucking everything.
Honestly, she does, like, she's not being, like, outwardly super, like, giddy about it past the initial expression of excitement, but she's probably going to wander around for a little bit and just see if there's anything funky around.
There is. It constantly runs away from you.
What can I write this down as?
Strange man hanging around Hazel.
Oh, no. No, I would like the actual object itself.
You can just put it as witch's looking glass or witch's sight glass. Because that's what the ability is called, witch's sight.
So, seeing an additional strange man hanging around Hazel, I'll probably just take note of that in her head and not bug Hazel about that right now. That can be a conversation for a later day. does this figure react to the possibility or to possibly being seen?
Yeah, he's like, ah. And he does do not perceive. I do not
When
wish
it's
to
like
be perceived.
running away from the glass, is there any effect that it has like on the world as it runs? Or anything like audible?
Possibly a light breeze. But aside from that, like a slight disturbance in the air, there's nothing.
How big is this thing? Is it like as big as the children or?
Full-sized man.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
But with that, I think we'll leave it for today, as it is almost 11 p.m. I will actually remember to award experience after this one. And I'll just lump in last session to this session.
And
So-
session 2.5.
And session 2.5, yes.
Hooray!
Yay.
Go team, we didn't stab each other and we got more information. And
We
a
worked
cool
together.
mirror.
We got information, we got a plan, and we got a funky little magic item.
Great
So
success.
let's say, dare I say, we even got a little closer to each other. Just a
Hell
smidge.
yeah.
We also have a Philip.
Well, we had that.
Hey, listen. He has a name now.
I think he probably had a name before is the problem.
Well,
Is that Philip with a PH or an F?
PH.
That's what I was imagining.
His
I
name's Philip
actually-
now.
There were so many pauses for myself, and I took advantage of you guys like being talking so many times that I have a full page of notes. Are you proud of me?
Hell
I'm
yeah.
so
I'm so
proud.
I
proud.
realized that having a physical book in front of me helps me with note taking a lot more than having me typing up notes. Because I can actually organize them better by adding squares, bubbles, lines, and other things. And going, oh yeah, huh, and scribbling in like tiny notes. But yeah, I can't wait for you guys to figure out what the curse does. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm excited.
But yeah. So, with that, we will figure out XP.
Okay. Does anybody know how to input custom gear in Pathbuilder?
No. I can try to figure it out.
Okay, because I mean I can try to figure it out too. I'm just wondering if anybody
Oh.
else like knows already.
It seems like you just click add gear and then there's a custom button.
See, that's where I'm at right now, but there's no options to actually like add a piece of custom gear into the custom gear section. It's just a blank section.
Huh. Oh, apparently you have to unlock the full version of Pathfinder 2 to be able to create custom equipment. That's what
Boo.
it says.
All right then.
Oh, and it's only $6 for a one-time payment?
I'm real broke though.
Yeah, that's fair. I just saw that and I was like, oh.
But I'll just type it, and we don't have like loot sections in this server yet. But that would be a cool thing that we could have. Otherwise, I'll just write it I'll write it into my Esoterica
Party horde time.
page.
Yeah, you can put it in your thingy page. I'm not gonna foil that.
A thingy page.
A thingy page. All right. Do we want to give player awards in this game? That is my question.
Hell yeah.
All right.
I'm not 100% sure what you mean.
It's something that a friend does in his games, where basically we award certain players for like a face award for like dealing with NPCs and other things and like kind of
Okay.
doing the face things. Or I would like to have a reward for like best interaction, like not interaction but best interactions, where it's awarded to 2 people, like good shit. And then you guys all nominate people. And there's also combat awards, even though we haven't done combat yet.
It's a
Okay.
really useful thing to do because not only does everybody get a little bit extra on top of what like rewards you would get anyway. Normally it's experience, but there's other stuff I guess you could do depending on the system. It's mostly super useful though because you can basically train people to be better role players because you're getting like tangible feedback from friends on like stuff that sticks out. So like I've gotten so many rewards from like just describing something really well. And then other people learn, oh shit, like people notice when I do that and actually appreciate it, and then they feel more confident about doing it more often. And gradually you just end up with like really cool rewards for really emotional scenes or like dumb jokes or like one tiny little throwaway line that like you tossed in to put your character in the scene and you think nobody noticed, but they did. And then you get the pat on the back for it later.
Nice.
Yep. So let's set up a baseline for these. We can have but I'm trying to find a couple things. Let me flip a page in my book.
Well, Devin, what are some of them that we normally do? So like powerful moment, like the combat
Let's
ones.
see. Combat, there's most damage dealt, most damage taken. Utility, you have the bad luck award.
Face award.
Face award.
I think the bad luck award goes to Desdemona.
Yeah, that's valid. I genuinely have such wonderful luck when I'm playing as the DM. Like when I'm DMing, I have really decent luck, but I don't think ever had good luck as a player.
Isn't that the worst?
Yep. I was like, yay, I'm so glad that when I'm possibly killing all my friends' characters, I have such great luck. But then when I'm playing as one of the characters, I never roll well at all.
Gotta whip out them DM dice. I know you only use one set of DM dice.
No, that's the thing. I use like all of my dice.
Wow, I think I use maybe 1 or 2 sets of dice when I'm DMing because I'm like, I'm just DMing. I don't need colorful dice. But when I'm playing my character, I like to pick different dice.
Same though. All right. So let's see. Powerful moment. What do you think was the most powerful moment in this game, and who was involved?
I think that would be between Davdak and Mal, right? When they were talking about like the extent of the curse, right? Or like I guess what it meant to have the kids be around and stuff.
Are you talking about like when they were speaking with the children?
Yes, that's
That
what I was
wasn't like
talking
that.
about. I was like, it's something like that.
That was Mal and then Desdemona. You probably got the D names confused.
Ah, maybe. I'm sorry about that.
Maybe a bit of Hazel there, because Hazel would have been the one that set that
The
kind of
inciting
train of
incident.
thought off.
I was like, somebody said it. I'm sorry. I'm starting to get into my sleepy mode because I haven't had that much sleep today. But it was said about Like they were talking to the children.
Fair.
Okay.
Only other option I'd say for this one would be like ongoing Thatcher being like staring at his hands, shaking. What am I? But that could also just be the like a bad luck award combined from last session and this one for Thatcher for realizing not only is my uncle alive, both fortunately and unfortunately, they've told everybody that I've been kidnapped. I think I'm a freak and I'm kind of grappling with like realizing that there could be other people like me, but also what does everything mean for me? Also, I feel a little dumb sometimes because this person is like just giving me this like one specific look and then they say something nice, but I feel like they're judging me. Mal is absolutely judging you. So I think powerful moment for the like combined Hazel, Desdemona, Mal talk about like realizing that the kids can talk, they can
sentient in a way.
communicate back, and are aware in a way, and also what this means for everybody, and then two of us being tormented by emotional consequences for questions, I think is fitting.
And that is 10 XP usually that camera gives, right?
Yep, but and then it never increases. It's just always 10.
Yeah. Because the Pathfinder the level ups never change.
Did we get any experience before? Because I lost my original character sheet.
We had 38 XP, and then it's in the EXP channel, and then we have 80 XP for the combined 2 sessions.
So then, is that 38 plus the 80 or 38 total?
Yeah. 38
Okay.
plus the 80. So I'm just going to update this every time, and you can total up. And then when we're doing the player awards, I'll put names down against the next to them. That's why I wrote down the stiff. The powerful moment is called Power Mom.
Power Mom.
That's me.
So then is that 10 XP to those players or to everybody for it having
to those
happened?
players specifically.
Okay.
Damage taken goes to Thatcher for emotional damage taken.
Emotional damage. Zito, I don't know what the level of delay was for that between me and you for you, but for me it was literally exactly at the same time.
Yeah, about at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, my boy. When Grace said that like magic was not good, I was like, I have to make a character. I didn't want to give him main character syndrome though. That was one thing I was like afraid of, but I don't feel like he is, at least from my perspective.
No,
Not as
he's
far as
just
I
my
would
poor little
say.
scrunkly.
And we're combining the sessions on this, right?
Yeah.
I'd say utility is probably a combination of Davdak, Mal, Thatcher, and Desdemona for sure. If you combine I guess 3 sessions technically.
Yeah, like technically 3? Well, yeah, like overall 3 if the middle 2 were put together into one.
Mhm.
Do we have a good idea that we want to highlight? Or a person with the good ideas we want to highlight? Looks at Mal.
I was gonna say, yeah, I think uncontested Mal has done like amazing.
I think Mal is contested by Desdemona. But I think if we take a good hard
I just
look,
talk too much.
you describe, well, the thing is that you describe your ideas really well, and that makes me go, ah, yes, brain happy. That's a good
Makes
idea.
sense.
Not to say that everybody else doesn't do a good job, but just that Mal does exceptionally.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's
For sure.
it's awesome.
Yeah. So we can do both because Mal had a lot of really good plans in the in-between session, so that deserves to be rewarded, but Desdemona also had really good plans during the first and this session, so we'll do both.
Maybe I'm just bad at taking credit, but I really don't remember what plans I had that were mine.
You got a stick,
Uh,
you made the mirror, you did all the
Well,
things.
yeah, but
Silence.
The mirror, it was ultimately your
Yeah.
idea.
Well, no, because Mal was the one who like had the idea to make a new thing or to like take a chunk with us so that we could make or use it moving forward. It was Mal's idea. Desdemona just like executed.
They were just having they were just planning for Thatcher to carry around the mirror everywhere.
Is it alright if I dip out for now?
We're awarding XP, so you might want to write these down. But the session's over.
Okay.
And then, who I came up with another one. I put it as gift to humanity, scribbled out gift to party. Who is the?
Is that not Grak for Philip? And see cat in mirror cat?
And yeah, that's fine. Grak is the gift to the party.
Hey.
I mean, I'm getting stabbed about it, like, emotionally, or like, threat, in parentheses. But also, listen, Grak's just having a time over there.
Yeah, Grak will never actually stab you, but he'll threaten it a lot. But
The
he'll never
opposite is
actually do
the
anything.
curse to the party, which is, Hazel, why do you have a little dude? Why is there just a little dude?
True.
That's good. It's canon because I say it's canon. Okay, but this is a different award. It's not curse to the party because I'm not awarding someone for that. It's curse to the world. Who is just cursed?
Just like
Guy with
as
the
in curse to the
curse.
world, like a menace, or curse to the world as in they themselves are cursed by the world.
I think it would have to
It's
be
up
it,
to
it would have to be a
interpretation.
specific thing because this is a if this is going to be an every session award when
It's
applicable,
an
then it
as
should be
it
yeah.
applies. Yeah,
Okay.
Whatever's funniest at the time.
exactly. But yeah, Hazel got the cursed award. You're welcome. So, Hazel, I don't know if you heard the explanation, but every time you see your name pop up with the 10 XP, you add that to the XP that's above those.
Huh?
So, you have 38 XP for the first session,
Okay.
80 XP for the last 3. You have an extra 10, an extra another 10, and an extra another 10. So you have a total of 30 plus 80 plus 38.
I'm gonna get a calculator out for that.
68. That's 148.
Okay.
You're welcome. I'm getting better at math, babe. Are you proud of me?
Yes, I'm very proud of you.
Congratulations.
It's because I've been using this app. It's like increases your reaction time by like forcing you to go through all these tests, and I suck at them, but some of them include math, and they're like, do quick math, and I'm like, I'm trying. So my brain has been like piecing together my math skills. They're like re-knitting the little neurons that I have. Anywho,
But yeah, I had a question about EXP. I think it was mentioned before, but it's level up every 1,000?
Yep.
Okay, and just every 1,000 for every level?
Yep.
Okay.
yeah, that's why the
Earlier-
time never changes.
Okay. Earlier, I thought I heard somebody mention it was every 100, and I was like, "Wow, we already leveled." But no, I just misheard what was said.
God, I wish my medicine would get a 3-point spike.
That ought to be over halfway to third level.
Okay, I have to use the restroom again because of hydrates.
Oh boy.
So we're gonna read out. We're gonna go raid my friend, and we're gonna go be little freaking gremlins in his chat.
That reminds me, I should redeem a hydrate before this happens. Just kidding.
Alright.
Is that the end of the awards thingy thing?
Yep. Y'all can
Cool.
skadoodle.
Skedaddle.
Anyways,
Alrighty.
goodbye.
Bye.
Good boy.
Ciao.
We have 13 viewers.
Wow.
Why?
Good
Bye.
boy.